meaning the Bulldogs. Now here comes the curveball away.
Chopped down to first base side. Big, nice Sunday hop for Oxley, and a 1-2-3 inning once again for Todd Dalma. We've played 5.5 innings from Perry Field, and the Gators still lead it 8-5.
Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch. Milk chocolate, that's creamy. Blending Krispies, so dreamy. Gotta have it, it's so scrumptious. Love that chocolate when it crunches. Scrumptious. Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch.
Around 20 years ago, Sonny Tillman started cooking up his own brand of barbecue. Sonny's success was built on a pleasant setting for a tasty meal at a reasonable price. It's still that way at Sonny's everywhere. That same great barbecue taste cooked into Sonny's ribs or chicken, beef or pork. So come to Sonny's Real Pit Barbecue for barbecue at its best.
'Cause everybody loves to be at Sonny's. Barbecue at its best.
The broadcast rights to this game have been granted to Sports Channel by the University of Florida solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without consent of Sports Channel Florida is prohibited. The Gators with a 3-run lead now in the bottom of the 6th against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Florida would find itself in a very good position in Southeastern Conference regular season play if they can hold on here, because they'll have at least a 1-game lead over the LSU Tigers and the Kentucky Wildcats, both teams with 6 conference losses. Florida comes into this game with 5 SEC losses. But there are still 6 games for each team to play in a regular season. Fastball from Jobs is over for strike 1 to Mario Linares. 0 for 2 with an RBI sacrifice fly in the 4th. One ball, one strike. Next weekend, Florida will be in Athens, Georgia to take on the Georgia Bulldogs, and we'll have that entire 3-game series for you here on Sports Channel. Fouled back behind home plate, crashing into the press box in our booth to the right. Mississippi State Sports Information Director and broadcaster Jim Ellis are in there, and they're shaking a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to get up from under the table. So we keep our window open. We've been crying for a foul ball all year.
We're begging for one, aren't we?
That's right.
The 2-2 pitch to Linares. Loops it over the outstretched arm of Raffo, and a base hit for Linares. The 11th hit of the game for the Florida Gators.
Well, Willie Mosconi couldn't have cued this one any better. Right at the end of the bat, they're throwing the ball out of the ball game.
He beat that one up too bad.
At the end of the bat, wipe the blood off of this thing and throw it back in. Raffo just misses it. But
So Linares is on at first, and Brigham steps in. Brigham 1 for 3 on the afternoon with a ground out to short, a ground out to second, and a single. Brigham's got 3 hits in the series. And the pitch from Jobs is outside, ball 1.
nothing doing down in the Mississippi State bullpen, but I would imagine if they had Martin up last inning, they're not going to wait too much longer here. They can't let this game get out of hand. It's close to that right now, and the Gators with a 3-run lead. It's getting late.
Brigham had a good cut at a fastball, and the count evens at 1-1.
You talked about the Georgia Bulldogs. That's a team that dropped their first 6 conference games, but as of late have been playing well in the conference. They lost 2 All-American pitchers last year, Chris Carpenter and Derek Lilliquist. two pitchers that you'll probably see in the major leagues before the year's over. And a big victory against LSU that put the Gators in sole possession of first place yesterday. So Georgia beat LSU at home 4-2 in the second game of their doubleheader.
Brigham tries to lay a bunt down the third base line, but it's foul, 1-2.
You would think Lilliquist would get a shot with the Braves before the year is over. And Carpenter looked great in spring training. And he was on the 40-man roster. However, Mississippi State won the conference tournament last year.
And barely got into tournament field to begin with. The 1-2 pitch. Fly ball to shallow left field. Richie Graham is there to make the catch. And again, the wind carried a little bit more than maybe ordinarily it would have gone. Graham has had his share of problems out there in left field today, but he handled that one easily. There's one out in the inning, and Tim Oxley comes to the plate. He's got a couple of doubles this afternoon and a walk sandwiched in between them.
The first baseman, number 34, Tim Oxley.
One ball and no strikes to Tim Oxley out of Apopka, Florida.
Actually did some pitching last year for the University of Florida, but has settled into a home at first base. Sees most of the action with a right-handed pitcher. There's Joe Arnold, who's back in the dugout after his ejection late in yesterday's ball game. Joe counting it down, needing 7 more wins for 500 career victories.
Two 2-0 the count to Tim Oxley. Fernandez on deck. Well hit, base hit to right. Linares holds at second. Florida has runners at first and second with one out in the inning. And that is the 12th base hit of the game off Mississippi State pitching.
I don't know how much you could talk about Oxley, but he's had quite a career on television this year.
Oxley looks like he's hurting. A trainer is coming out to take a look at him.
And they're going to bring in Mike Martin, as they cannot let the Gators score anymore this late in the ball game where it's a sweep. Let's take a look at that last pitch. This is the first pitch that he's pulled in this ball game. There's a fastball right over the plate. It's one of the few pitches he's had a chance to pull. And Joe Arnold and the Gators, I'm sure, want to stay with Tim Oxley as much as possible with the right-hander Mike Martin coming in to pitch, and that's one of the reasons why he let him hit with the left-hander early in the ball game, the left-hander Wes Johnson. And there's, you see right there, 55 and 2/3 innings, 54 strikeouts. And the key for the good closer, 13 walks. Only 13 walks. He doesn't let you get any free passes. You got to earn your way on against this guy. But he's on early in this ball game. And there's a son who said, "Dad, come on, I'll treat you to a ball game."
Tim Oxley can't go on in this game. You remember last night in the doubleheader on a stretch playing first base, it looked like he injured himself. So Oxley is going to come out of the game, having accomplished a lot here in this one. 3 for 3, a couple of doubles, a single, a walk. Tim Oxley gets a nice round of applause for the fans. Steve Coley will pinch run. And could go into play first base for Oxley in the next inning, although Steve Zaire could also be called upon to play first base. Coley has probably the best speed of the three.
I think the reason why you're seeing Coley in this situation is maybe somewhere down the line you might want to pinch hit, and they're going to save Zaire for that possibility where they could put him up anywhere in the lineup. I think Coley probably will stay in.
There's one out. Mike Martin faces Jose Fernandez, who greets him with a bullet to right field, but right at Cohen. 2 outs in the inning. Runners still at first and second, Coley and Linares. There's Barrio. And the batter will be Alan Rutledge, who
Number 20, third baseman, Alan Rutledge.
unlocked this tie an inning ago with a 3-run home run. The pitch from Mike Martin. Curve over the plate for strike one.
And all week long they've been pitching Alan Rutledge away until his last at-bat got a high fastball and rode it out of the yard.
They got Linares almost picked off. He got back. I don't know how, because Mario found himself wandering between second and third. And very nearly had himself picked off to end the inning. Here's the pitch to Rutledge. Breaking ball away. No balls, 2 strikes.
Trying to pull the outside pitch, and that's what Linares was doing last night. So he decided to go right side, and that's what Allen needs to do here. Apparently Tracy Jobs didn't read the scouting report because he threw him a high inside pitch, and Rutledge pulled it right out of the yard for the big 3-run home run, and that's the difference.
The 0-2 pitch. Rutledge stepped out.
You waited a little bit too long, and you shouldn't back out of there until you get time. If that had been anywhere close, he'd been in the dugout.
Here's the 0-2. Pops it up right side. Catcher Winford, first baseman Raffo, and it's Raffo.
No runs, 2
Gators with no runs in the 6th. Got a couple of base hits, leave a couple of runners on. Florida still leading at 8-5.
Hello, I'm Ralph Kinnickle Jr. I run the U.S. Government Printing Office. One of our jobs is to make you aware of federal agency publications. Some of our most popular subjects are history, education, careers, business, and space. How do you find out about these publications? Right. Free catalog, Box 37,000, Washington, D.C., 20013. A free catalog. Send for yours today. I look forward to hearing from you.
When you say no to drugs, you say no to harming your health. You say no to hurting your family and friends. You say no to getting in trouble. That's the power of that tiny little word, no. So be yourself and be proud of your independence. Don't let others run your life for you. Remember, it's cool to say no. Believe me, it feels good to be a winner. And you can be one too. Play it smart. Don't foul out with drugs.
Sunday afternoon crowd at Perry Field. They've watched the Gators fall behind early 2-0, then take a 3-2 lead. Mississippi State then got a 3 spot in the 3rd to go up 5-3. The Gators tied it up with 2 runs in the 4th to make it 5-5, and then Alan Rutledge's 3-run home run in the bottom of the 5th made it an 8-5 ball game, and that's where we are as we begin the 7th inning with the number 9 man in the Bulldog lineup, Burke Masters, to face left-hander Todd Dalma, who has put 9 consecutive Bulldog batters send them back to the dugout. The first pitch is in, up, ball one. Barry Winford is next, to be followed by John Cohen. Curveball is in for strike one.
And out of those 9, he struck out 4. And some pretty good hitters. Hurst, Graham, Raffo, Cohen.
Chopper to Mendez. Good scoop over at first base by Steve Zaire.
Well, Zaire in to make the defensive change. A good play on the scoop. So what the Gators did is they ran Coley, one of the first basemen, and put in Zaire. So Coley's out of the ball game, and they're down to their last first baseman. Good play though by Mendez. Really
Now batting is number
showed
48,
quick
the
hands
catcher,
in
Barry
redirecting that
Winford.
ball.
Mendez has a good arm, but the quickness of his relief is what makes him an outstanding shortstop. And he also shows good range out there. So there's a guy, Julio Mendez, that you could be seeing in the major leagues in a few years. And a good cut at a fastball, but it's 0-2.
I think Julio will be more inclined to be playing second base in professional baseball, however. Not unlike Steve Lombardozzi, who's a shortstop here, now second baseman.
One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out in the top half of the 7th inning. The Florida Gators trying to complete a weekend sweep. Dalma got him with a, looked like a fastball that just kept leaking outside.
The tailing fastball that Todd Dalma has been throwing, and the key is he's been getting ahead of these hitters. As you look at a Todd Dalma K corner, ahead in the count, the tailing fastball, and he gets Winford going after it. I want to say he throws a chase tailing fastball as opposed to the chase slider.
6 strikeouts for Dalma, 2 outs in the inning now. And the first pitch to John Cohen is in for a strike. Cohen struck out against Dalma in the 4th. He doubled in the 1st and singled in the 3rd against Florida's right-handed starter, Joe Klansnick. Fastball, and he threw it by him for strike 2.
Again, ahead of the count. Makes all the difference in the world. Now he could play with him. Probably give him something on the outside. Curveball away.
Lunged at it, but poked it into center field for a base hit. Nice job of hitting by John Cohen.
He throws the barrel out at this ball, and actually watch him go down and get this thing. He gets just enough of it on the barrel to ride it right up the middle for a base hit. So good defensive hitting behind an account for John Cohen, and that's his 3rd hit of the ball game.
Breaks a string of 11 consecutive banners retired, and with the runner at first and 2 outs, the number 3 man in the lineup, Jody Hurst, the designated hitter at the plate. 1 for 3 this afternoon. 5 hits and 9 at bats in the series. Nice stop by Fernandez.
Down 3, I'm sure Cohen's going nowhere at first base. He has to concentrate on this man right here because the tying run is on deck in the person of Graham.
This time Fernandez knocked it down and kept it in front of him, but Cohen is still able to move down to second. That'll probably be a wild pitch on Dalma.
Let's see what happened to that pitch right there. Fastball in the dirt. Ran up the left arm of Jose Fernandez, and as he was going to retrieve it, it hits off the body of Jody Hurst. That's the reason why Fernandez wasn't able to come up with it.
Cohen down in scoring position at second. The 2-0 pitch, he's gone 3-0. Richie Graham is on deck. The 3-0 pitch. Dalma thought that one was a strike. That is only the second walk given up by Florida pitchers this afternoon. Dalma's been responsible for both of them. Runners at first and second, and the potential tying run steps to the plate, and Richie Graham. Dalma's had his number to this point. He struck him out twice against Klansnick in the first inning. Graham reached on an error. Curveball is over for strike one.
Be interesting to see how they're going to pitch Richie Graham right here. Great power to the opposite field. See if they try to saw him off or go away. Coming inside.
Line drive into left for a base hit. Cohen going to try and score. Rensnyder's throw is not in time. It's an 8-6 ball game, and Mississippi State has runners at first and second with 2 outs.
Todd Dalma making some good pitches this inning. With Mississippi State hitters, Cohen and Graham doing some good hitting. You look at Todd Dalma right there. Busted him inside. Graham inside out at the pitch in the left field for the base hit and knocked in the run. So now the tying run's on first. Lead runs at the plate in the person of Pete Young.
Number 31.
And out in the left field, bullpen works right-hander Jamie McAndrew. The late inning stopper on Joe Arnold's staff. Pitching coach Doug Corbett makes his way to the mound to chat with Dalma and Fernandez.
He's got to be talking about some of the things that possibly we discussed. He made some good pitches this inning. John Cohn with the 2-strike count, reaching out and hitting a ball right up the middle. He loses Hurst, and Graham fought off an inside pitch for a base hit. Of course, also buying time, I'm sure, for Jamie McAndrew.
If you fans are watching Sports Channel for the first time and are wondering, is that the same Doug Corbett? Yes, it is. Major League pitching veteran.
1981 American League All-Star Doug Corbett, back when he played for the Minnesota Twins.
And in 1974, rather, he won 12 games for the Florida Gators, a club record that still exists, although rather tenuously.
It's in jeopardy.
Gidcombe has 11.
A win away, yes.
All right, we're set to resume play as Mississippi State has runners at first and second with 2 outs. And the pitch to Pete Young is a curveball in for strike one. Young lined into a double play, tripled, and grounded out to short.
Big at-bat for Pete Young. This is going to tell a lot of the outcome of this ball game.
He's a definite home run threat. And that's what was on his mind right there as he waved at the Dalma fastball and falls behind in the count 0-2.
Well, there's really no reason to come into him with the wind now picking up towards left field. Dalma with the good tailing fastball going away from the right-handed hitter. might go up the ladder here.
Reached and plugs it out into the right center field area. Long run for Brigham, but he makes the catch. Had a long way to come to Ned Brigham, but he made a nice running catch, and Dalma pitches his way out of a jam. Florida still up by 2 after the Bulldogs get 1 run at the top of the 7th.
Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch Milk Chocolate. That's creamy, blended, crispy, ooh, so dreamy. Gotta have it, it's so scrumptious. Love that chocolate when it crunches. Scrumptious. Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love.
The Scotties. Scotties, the only name you need to know.
Wednesday, May 4th, it's more Gator baseball as the Gators host the Knights of Central Florida. Nick Belmonte and I will bring you all the action from Perry Field live at 7 o'clock. See exciting Gator baseball only on Sports Channel Florida, your exclusive Florida Gator channel.
Jay Bergman, Central Florida Knights, having a good year down there in Orlando.
Mike Moberg.
Mike Moberg leads off the bottom of the 7th for the Florida Gators, facing the right-hander Mike Martin. First pitch is a breaking ball outside, ball 1. Square to bunt, foul tipped it at home plate, 1-1.
Mike Moberg, as you look at Winford, you're going to see what happened right there. Mike Moberg needs to do more of this. Show the bunt, attempt the bunt, box it around the thigh area there. Those catchers, I'll tell you, put in a hard day's work.
Right back where it came from.
Look out.
Third hit of the afternoon for Mike Moberg. And a good start to the bottom of the 7th. Back to the top of the lineup with Brian Remsnyder stepping in. Let's take another look at that line shot off the bat of Moberg.
This is time you need the pitching screen. Now watch Martin.
The left fielder, number 15, Brian Remsnyder.
Hello.
Remsnyder hitless with a couple of walks. Pop up left field side. Pete Young giving it a look, but it drops in front of him. Foul ball out of play.
Mike Moberg has been bluffing the steal the last 2 times he's been on base. Back in the 4th inning, he did the same thing. Right as the pitcher starts to get into his move, he'll take a quick step and put on the brakes.
The Gators have touched Mississippi State pitching for 13 base hits this afternoon. The pitch out, but Moberg is not going anyplace.
Oh, 0-2 pitch out. Thinking the Gators were going to go deep in the behind in the count, which they did last night.
Gators with a 2-run lead, and Moberg Could have stolen base on his mind here. Remsnyder reaches out and lines it into left field for a base hit. Moberg going to try for third. The throw coming in, and Moberg slides in safely, and there goes Remsnyder down to second. So the Gators will have runners at second and third with nobody out in the inning.
As soon as it was hit, Mike Moberg did not stop, and Brian Remsnyder, in your picture, has been hitting the ball well all weekend. Right over the plate, outer half, Remsnyder goes with it, knocks it into left center field. Graham's throw. Now watch the decoy by Young. He's just playing nonchalant, and you're going to see Remsnyder getting to second base. A fake throw by Young to see if he can catch Moberg. Nothing doing there. But Moberg made that happen when he knew when the ball was hit, the play was in front of him, took off for third right on the crack of the bat.
Tommy Edwards with a couple of hits this afternoon. A game-winning base hit last night in the first game of the doubleheader. 6 hits in the series. Curveball is outside.
The irony of it all, he signed a scholarship out of Bishop Kenny High School with Ron Polk from Mississippi State. Attended there a year, was redshirted, and decided to go to a junior college. Came back and signed with Florida.
Played off the curveball, 2-0.
His ex-high school coach, Pat McMahon, is a pitching coach for Mississippi State, and an ex-teammate in high school, Tommy Raffo, plays first. Whole home week for Tommy Edwards.
It's a deep to left, but it's bending foul.
Tommy just needs to put the ball into play. Mississippi State infield playing halfway up the middle. Actually halfway all the way around.
Foul out of play, right side. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
If there's a hard hit ball at any of the infielders, they'll go home. A slow hit ground ball, they'll make the play at first and give up the run. Less of a gamble chance than pulling them in. Ron Polk obviously feeling that with a 2-run lead, it's conceivable they can come back. Of course, he would have to.
Reached down and hit it to second. Masters cannot make a play. The infield was in. Masters did a nice job of keeping it in the infield. Otherwise, the Gators would have scored 2 runs. And now, as it is, Florida has runners on the corners. A run in and a 9-6 ball game. Still nobody out.
This is the advantage of playing halfway. If he's playing halfway, he's able to get to this ball. It's an outside pitch. He goes up the middle with it. Had he been playing all the way in, this is in the center field and 2 runs would have scored. So in that sense, the gamble paid off.
The shortstop, number 10, Julio Mendez.
Mike Martin has faced 3 batters here in the 7th and has given up 3 singles. Mendez has a couple of Florida's 15 hits, takes the fastball in for strike 1. And an RBI single in the 4th. Gators lead Mississippi State 9-6 in the bottom of the 7th with nobody out. Fastball, a called strike on the outside of the plate. Mendez has to walk away and trying to forget about that one. There's Remsnyder at third. Edwards at first. Mendez at the plate with an 0-2 count.
First and third steal. A possibility here, 1 and 2. If you guess breaking ball, you got it.
Missed outside with a breaking ball, and the count evens at 2 and 2.
That was the hard slider right there by Martin, tried to give him the chase. Edwards bluffed the steal and held up. Had a ball call on a similar play like that last night. It was called that he had started his motion in one direction. He actually moved twice, and that's where the balk was called.
Mendez nubs it into right field for a base hit. Remsnyder scores. Edwards is in safely at third. Mendez going to try for second, and he's out of there. And Mendez, I think, has been ejected from the game for complaining about the call.
And Dave Howard's going to find out if that's in fact what happened.
So Mendez is thrown out trying to take second base on the throw to third. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened. The third base umpire made the indication that Julio was out of there. And here's the RBI single.
Takes the breaking pitch, drives it into right field. Gators have worn out that spot today. The throw to third is not going to be in time. Gets away from Young. Now Mendez is going to go to second base, and it's going to be after this tag play.
And there we thought you were going to see the umpire throwing the right arm and ejecting Mendez, but he has been ejected from the game.
Well, Brent Addison will come in, no doubt, to play shortstop. Next inning, he's already out there warming up.
And the home plate umpire, Tony Thompson, is waiting to make sure that Julio Mendez moves on out of the dugout, I think, before play is resumed.
Our second ejection in 2 days. Joe Arnold tossed late in last night's second game. And our first player, as Julio Mendez is walking out the ballpark to the cheers of the crowd.
Mendez had 3 base hits, 2 RBIs in this game. The first pitch to Mario Linares is low for ball 1.
I'm sure Joe Arnold's upset to the fact that he got himself thrown out of the ball game, because even though it's 10-6, Mississippi State capable of scoring runs in a hurry.
Pete Young with a great reaction on a line drive off the bat of Linares for the second out of the inning.
Well, I told you they all even out. Linares dumps one over Rafo's head his previous at-bat, and that man right there takes a hit away on a line drive. Breaking ball hangs inner half, line drive. Look at the reactions of Pete Young right there. Ron Polk said, good range for a big man. Showed it right there.
Now there are 2 outs, and the fly ball won't score Edwards from third. Ned Brigham 1 for 4 with a single in the third. Is flying out once, grounded out twice. Fastball outside, 2-0. Fastball caught the outside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike. Fouled it off his foot. Count evens at 2-2. First baseman Steve Zaire is the man who would be next. Edwards at third. The 2-2 pitch from Mike Martin. Chopped to second. Burt Masters throws for the third out of the inning. But the Gators got a couple of more runs on 4 base hits. They strand one. After 7 complete, it's now a 4-run Florida lead, 10-6 Gators.
It's easy to think one person can't make a difference, but 200 million people can. If every one of us volunteered just 5 hours a week to the causes we care about, if we all donated just 5% of what we earn, there'd be almost no limit to what we can do. Just 5 hours, just 5%. When you think about it, it's not that much to give. And what we could get back is immeasurable.
After this joyride, I'm out of the crash dummy business for good.
But Vince, it's a great job. Heck, they'd have to pry me away from it.
Anybody home? Larry, they do pry you away from it.
Oh, yeah.
For years, I've been eating steering wheels. For what?
To prove how safety belts save lives.
But thousands die every year in car accidents because they don't buckle up.
Vince, we're dummies. We don't wear safety belts.
Larry, you really know how to hurt a guy. Hit it!
Yeah! You're going to learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
The Florida Gators have built themselves a 4-run lead now with 2 innings left in the game. They're that close to sweeping the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
And there he is. A different color flag tonight. He had an orange flag yesterday.
The first baseman, number 22, Tommy Raffo.
Tommy Raffo leads off the 8th against freshman Todd Dalma, who's done a splendid job in relief of Joe Klansnick. Dalma's worked 4 2/3 innings. Two balls and no strikes. He's only given up 4 base hits. Caught the outside corner, 2-1. Evens the count at 2-2. Raffo, a strikeout victim against Dalma, his last trip to the plate in the 6th.
So important to get the leadoff hitter here in the 8th for Florida.
And there you have it. Another strikeout for Todd Dalma.
6.
I think it's 7. I got him with 7, Nick.
Just seems, I'm all messed up on these strikes. There's been so many.
Guess we could check with the K Club down there and make
That's what
sure.
we need to do.
Brad Hildreth.
It's amazing what this freshman has done from the left side against Mississippi State, a team that dominates left-handed pitching.
Another strike to Brad Hildreth.
Oh, there, let's go to the official club. There it is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
When in doubt, check with the K Club. That's what they're paid for.
Brent Addison gets a shot at shortstop and throws Hildreth out for the 2nd out of the inning. Addison on in relief of Julio Mendez, who was ejected from the ball game last inning, arguing over a call at second base.
See Brent there, the Auburndale, Florida ball player.
We're going to have a pinch hitter for the left-handed hitting Todd Nace. It'll be right-handed John Shave, who
Pinch hitting for the Bulldogs is number 3, John Shave.
played last night in the doubleheader. Played both games of the doubleheader. Got a hit and 5 at bats. So it's Shave batting for Nace. In the top of the 8th with 2 outs in the inning. Strike 1.
Shave hitting .336 coming into today's action. Plays a little third base, plays some second. Usually splits the time at second base with Masters.
Jamie McAndrews throwing down in the Florida bullpen. But just as insurance, because Dauma's got a 4-run lead in this thing, and if Todd can stay out of trouble, McAndrew won't be called upon today. Two balls and a strike. Squibs it off the end of the bat. Steve Zaire says, I'll take it myself, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Todd Dauma. We move to the bottom half of the 8th inning with our score still Florida 10, Mississippi State 6.
A perplexing problem has puzzled young people since the beginning of time. How to get a job without experience, and how to get experience without a job.
The answer is cooperative education, a nationwide program that lets college students work at real jobs for real pay while they're getting an education.
I knew that.
You're Alan Hayes. Oh, I knew that. The old guard in the new wave.
To tell you about another down-to-earth benefit from space research.
I can't believe these glasses for the deaf.
A tiny microphone on the frame connects to a portable computer which converts spoken words into visual cues that appear right on the lens of the glasses.
Huh. The eye's doing what the ears can't. Incredible.
Space technology.
This is what's in it for you.
The new pitcher is Mississippi State's Pete Young, who's been playing third base throughout this game. So Young is the 5th Mississippi State pitcher in this game, and you take a look at what he's done this year on the mound. 30 strikeouts in 20 1/3 innings, only 5 walks. Some very impressive numbers there.
Pete Young, a guy that came in on a combined shutout effort last Sunday again with Bobby Reed and beat LSU 1-0. And that win put Mississippi State in a tie for the SEC lead. What a difference a week makes. But you saw that strikeout total, 30 strikeouts in 20 1/3 innings. That's your outstanding stat for Mr. Young. Good slider.
Defensively for the Bulldogs, Masters has moved over to third base. And Shave, the pinch hitter in the last inning, is now playing second base. And the pitch by Young is fouled over the top of the press box and out of play.
Pete Young possesses a big, slow curveball, and that's something that had LSU off balance the other night, the night I'm talking about a week ago Sunday. And had he not gotten sick, we probably would have seen him pitch some of the first 2 games of this series.
Zaire grounds it back up the middle. Hildreth bobbles the baseball and then can't throw him out. That'll be an error on the shortstop. And the first error of the game against Mississippi State.
Coming in, having trouble getting it out of his glove right there. Just falls right out of his bare hand. Comes up and still has a chance, but Zaire beats the throw.
The catcher, number 24, Jose Fernandez.
Zaire is on it first. Jose Fernandez at the plate. Fastball almost threw it to the backstop, ball 1. Fernandez singled in the second, flying to left in the third, walked in the fifth, and flying to right in the sixth. He's 1 for 3 with a couple of runs scored. Two balls and no strikes. There's Hurst in center field. Jody Hurst, who had been the designated hitter, has moved out to center field, so there is no designated hitter. There's a base hit into right field, and Zaire, rounding second, will make it to third easily, and the Gators will have runners on the corners. With nobody out, that's base hit number 17 in this game. Florida had 15 hits in 14 innings yesterday, and the Gators with 17 hits here in 8, or actually just 7 innings here this afternoon.
This is what Joe Arnold's been waiting for all season, for the Gators to break out of, I don't want to say a season-long slump, but one where it's been timely hitting that's done the job for the Gators. They haven't had many games where they've all broken out and everybody's gotten a couple of hits. And guys like this man right here, Alan Rutledge, a big weekend, or a big day, I should say, for him, and he's one of the guys they need to get hot as they go into their next 2 series of SEC play. Next week, Georgia in the final against Vandy.
Young challenged Rutledge with a fastball and threw it by him for strike 1. Curveball is low and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Gators with a 4-run lead in the bottom of the 8th. Looking ahead to the 9th, Mississippi State will have its 9th batter up and into the top of the order. Fastball is over for strike 2. Fastball missed high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pete Young's a sophomore from Macomb, Mississippi. He was a freshman All-American last year. Pops the breaking ball to the right side of the infield, and John Shave makes the catch for the first out in the inning.
Just came by for a quick inning. Combination bicycle, box seat.
Now batting is the center fielder, number 2,
Mike Moberg, who has 3 hits this afternoon, including a double, has scored 2 runs. Facing Pete Young, had a whale of a cut at a fastball, but it was up in his eyes. Strike 1.
High fastball, tough pitch to lay off of. And he blows it right by him.
Moberg lays down a bunt on the squeeze play, and Zaire is safe at the plate. Fernandez is going to be at third, and Moberg will be all the way down to second. They caught the Bulldogs by surprise there, as they had the squeeze play on with Mike Moberg.
And all set up by the swing and the miss. I'm sure that wasn't by design, but a perfect opportunity to do it. Great bunt. And Pete Young really didn't have much of a chance. And he backhand flip gets by Winford, the catcher. And now runners are at second and third. A run is in. It's a 5-run game.
At bat is the left fielder, number 15, Brian.
They haven't scored it yet, but I would think that might be an error on the pitcher.
And scored a sacrifice.
The first pitch to Brian Remsnyder is outside for ball 1.
I believe it has to be scored a sacrifice E1.
Curveball in for strike one.
And give the RBI to Moberg.
Red Snyder singled his last time up. Fastball, he just missed outside, 2-1. It's an 11-6 ball game now, and Florida's looking like they might just hold on to first place all by themselves in the league after this series. Curveball inside. He had a good cut at it, but the count evens at 2-2.
Now the infield in for Mississippi State. They cannot afford to give up any more runs.
Red Snyder has worked the count full. Fernandez at third. Moberg at second base. From a full wind, Pete Young. Red Snyder fouls it behind home plate, out of play. If the Gators hold on to win this one, they should move up considerably in the national rankings. Red Snyder rips one to right. Fernandez scores. Moberg rounding third. The throw coming to the plate. They cut it off, and they've got Red Snyder hung up. Raffo runs right at him. Now John Shea chasing it back to the bag. The catcher Winford was covering, and they threw him out. That'll end the inning, but the Gators got 2 more runs across on the run-scoring single. And the Gators with now a 13-6 lead.
All right, Perry, nice and smooth. Take it back smooth on the inside and let it go. Hey, great swing there.
Everyone wins with the American Lung Association's Golf Privilege Card. You get to play golf at some of the state's finest golf courses just for a donation to your local lung association. In fact, over 80 of Massachusetts' finest courses are taking part in this and honoring the Lung Association's golf card. To get your card...
Well, we prematurely threw it to a break. That was only the second out of the inning, and Tommy Edwards swings at the first Pete Young pitch and fouls it behind the home plate for strike one. Red Snyder gets credit for the 2 RBIs. Fernandez and Moberg scoring the 12th and 13th runs of the game. Florida has 18 base hits in this game. The 1-1 pitch to Tommy Edwards. Fouled out of play. Edwards with a double and a single, 2 RBIs. And that will be the 3rd out in the inning. So Pete Young gives up 3 runs here in the bottom half of the 8th. A lot of insurance for the Gators. We move to the top half of the 9th. And the Florida Gators with a 7-run lead heading into the top half of the 9th inning.
All right, Perry, nice and smooth. Take it back smooth on the inside and let it go. Hey, great swing there.
Everyone wins with the American Lung Association's Golf Privilege Card. You get to play golf at some of the state's finest golf courses just for a donation to your local lung association. In fact, over 80 of Massachusetts' finest courses are taking part in this and honoring the Lung Association's golf card. To get your card, call this toll-free number, 1-800-522-2911.
Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch. Milk chocolate, that's creamy. Blending Krispies, ooh, so dreamy. Gotta have it, it's so scrumptious. Love that chocolate when it crunches. Scrumptious. Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch.
next weekend, Nick and I will be in Athens, Georgia, as the Florida baseball team will take on the Georgia Bulldogs in a key Southeastern Conference series. Sports Channel Florida will bring you all 3 games, beginning with a doubleheader on Saturday, April 30th, and then the single game on Sunday, May the 1st. Gator baseball next weekend on Sports Channel.
Big weekend series up in Athens.
Gator gymnast Karen Bernal sitting with Mr. and Mrs. Rem Snyder. Karen and Brian are fairly close friends, I guess you could say.
A campus item.
Burke Masters looking for his first base hit of the series. He's 0 for 8. Curveball is in for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Top half of the 9th inning. Florida with the 7-run lead over Mississippi State. Line drive to left. Rem Snyder back to the warning track. Can't get the baseball. He gets himself up off the ground and holds Masters to a double. That's the first hit of the series for Burke Masters. Thought Rem Snyder had a shot at that ball. He got a good jump on it and almost made a great catch.
He really did get a good jump on this ball. Possibly his angle towards the ball might not have been what he wanted it to be. So let's see. No, good angle. Just didn't come up with it.
The catcher, number 48, Barry Winford.
It's a heck of an effort, I'll tell you that.
Joe Arnold has Jamie McAndrew up and throwing again in the bullpen. Dalma has worked 5 2/3 innings in relief. He's already worked more here today than he has in any one game of the year.
And more than Joe Arnold, I'm sure, and Doug Corbett had hoped. Barry Winford, the hitter, and he's been in the middle of a lot of the action this weekend.
Fastball, strike 1.
With the showing of Todd Dalma here, you have to wonder if he may not get the call for the 3rd start in Georgia.
Well, you go back to what he did last weekend as he's fallen behind Winford 2-1. He came on in relief of Klansnick and pitched 4 strong innings against Ole Miss in Oxford, struck out 6 batters and gave up only a hit. He's worked 5 2/3 here today. Making a strong statement for himself, but there's quite a statement off the bat of Winford. This one is long gone. That ball almost landed up above the parking lot in the O'Connell Center. A 2-run home run off the bat of Barry Winford, and it's a 13-8 ball game. That's Winford's 7th home run of the season. Let's look at this again.
This one's a moonshot. Everybody freezes on this one. Good lift, and Rem Snyder is just going to stop in his tracks and admire it.
Two well-hit balls off Todd Dalma here in the top half of the 9th inning. The leadoff double by Burke Masters. And now the towering 2-run home run by Barry Winford.
Stepping to the plate is the right fielder, number 11, John Cohen.
Nobody on base, nobody out. A 13-8 lead now for the Gators. The pitch is a ball from Dalma.
And the reason I believe Dalma's still in the ball game because he's pitched the middle of the order very well. Left-hander Cohen.
Cohen did single his last time up.
Struck him out his previous time and kind of just slap one up the middle his last time, but it has pitched him well in the 2 times he's faced him. There's Jamie.
2 balls and a strike. hard ground ball right between the wickets. That'll be an error on first baseman Steve Zaire. And there's still nobody out. The Gators still have a 5-run cushion. Let's look at that again.
Pitch on the outer half, pulls the ball, routine ground ball, and skips under the glove of Steve Zaire as he just didn't keep the glove down.
Joe Arnold's bringing a hook with him to the mound. That's going to be all for Todd Dalma, who should get a nice round of applause from the fans. And he does. He came on in relief of Klansnick in the 3rd inning. Gave up 1 run in the 3rd, another run in the 7th, has given up the 2-run home run here in the 9th. But for the most part, it's been the middle inning pitching of Todd Dalma that's enabled the Gators to enjoy this 5-run lead.
Jamie McAndrew coming on 2-2, 7 saves, 25 innings pitched, 28 strikeouts. And I believe the conversation Ben Hayes was having with Tony Thompson, the home plate umpire, was about just what is the Mississippi State lineup with all the changes they made when they moved Young to the pitcher's mound. He's going to make sure everybody is on the same page. So Jamie McAndrew with a 2.84 ERA, his first time pitching this weekend. Jody Hurst is the scheduled hitter, the leading hitter in the SEC, coming into today's ball game, followed by Richie Graham. So it'll be righty, lefty, and I would assume Pete Young another righty. Then if it gets farther than that, it's Raffo, Hildreth, and I believe Shave stays in that 8 spot unless there's a change. Shave is a right-handed hitter. And there's Jeff Gidcombe working on the pitching chart. That's something we'll possibly get into next week and show you just what one of those things look like. And it's getting late.
McAndrew's last appearance was against Florida State. Last Wednesday, he pitched a 1/3 of an inning, struck out the only out. Has some control problems, though. He walked a couple.
And that's why you saw Tyson Johnson down there just in case.
Don't want to mess around here.
Nope.
The first pitch is a fastball in for strike 1.
You blow a 7-run lead in the 9th inning, it could be devastating mentally to your ball club the rest of the year.
McAndrew from the belt. Ground ball to Edwards. He fumbles it. He'll get the out at first if he can, and he does. Might have been a double play ball as Hurst is not running too well with the injured leg. Julio Mendez watching on.
But he's in disguise. He changed the color of his hat.
Bulldogs have a runner at second now with 1 out in the inning.
Richie Graham.
And Richie Graham will face McAndrew. A 13-8 Florida lead. Fastball's low. Cohen leads off at second. The 1-0 pitch. Strike call. Looked like a changeup, missed inside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Gator infield very deep. They know they only need to get to 1.
Reared back and fired a fastball, fouled into the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The key for Jamie McAndrew is when he's effective is to get the movement on the fastball.
He struck him out with a nice curve ball on the inside of the plate.
Had him thinking fastball, took something off it and went with the curve. That was a slider actually breaking down.
2 outs in the inning, and now McAndrew can nail it down. Facing Pete Young.
Hitter number 31, Pete Young.
Young is 1 for 4 with a 2-run triple in the 3rd inning. Bottom of the 9th. 2 outs. A 1-0 count. And the pitch by McAndrew. In for a strike.
Remsnyder about a step away from the warning track with the wind blowing out the left. Outfield deep for Pete Young.
The 1-1 pitch. Lined out of play down the right field line. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
The crowd's starting to sense it. Saw somebody walking around with a broom earlier. 1 strike away from a sweep against Mississippi State. Put them on top of the SEC by themselves.
They're on their feet at Perry Field for the 1-2 pitch. Foul out of play.
Here's the guy that took his dad to the ballpark, came up with the ball.
Well, he's sticking it in the back.
Enter that as evidence in court.
Here's the 1-2 pitch again by McAndrew. Bloops it to the infield. Brent Anderson squeezes it, and the Gators bring out the broom and sweep the Bulldogs to Mississippi State. 13-8 the final score. McAndrew gets credit for an outstanding job of relief pitching, and here comes the broom.
The broom is coming out to home plate for the sweep. Gator booster or backer C.D. Burbank with the broom.
Florida now 16-5 in the conference after the sweep of Mississippi State. The Bulldogs really suffer this weekend. Now 13-8 in league play. But Florida wins it this afternoon, 13-8 the final score. We'll be back in a moment.
Doing their own juice, but across the dinner table.
we could feed her Eye of Newt or bat's wings.
Deep fried?
Deep fried
Maybe
in
something
Pamela's honor.
A little more subtle might be in order, like bouillabaisse.
Boathouse stew, we'll call it. That's what we'll do. That'll be perfect. Sort of little reminders of the sea.
I guess we'll have to make do with what's in the fridge, though.
Yeah, probably cheese and peanut butter.
No,
leg of lamb, and spare rib.
What about you, Mother?
Oh, man.
Are you going to let me help you?
Darling, it is all so complicated.
I can see that.
Look, I'm not sure I could explain it to you even if I wanted to. Besides, I don't want you involved.
I'm your son.
Yes, well, that hasn't kept you from having the same suspicions everyone else has.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I want to help, Mother. I know you're in trouble and you can't handle it all by yourself.
Well, then I guess I'm just going to have to do the best I can with what I have. Hello?
Hello, Pamela. It's Gina.
Who?
Gina, your neighbor. Gina Capwell, remember?
Oh, yes.
I'd like to invite you and Cece over for dinner. I know it's kind of short notice, but it's nothing special, just a little impromptu something I whipped up.
Well, I'm afraid it's a little late.
Oh, come now. It's never too late. Besides, I just won't take no for an answer.
Believe me, you won't regret it. Or let me put it another way. If you don't come, you will regret it.
Another one of those impossible social obligations. But of course, darling, I forgot. I'm sorry. It just totally slipped my mind. Will 8 o'clock be all right?
That's fine. We'll be looking forward to it.
Bury the bones.
What? Well, why me?
Because I'm the better cook. I have to prepare the marinade, darling. I wish I had a goose.
Hi. Hi, come on in. Cruz
Thanks.
isn't here right now. I'm sorry, I would have called first, but I couldn't wait. Did Cruz leave something for me? Yeah, he sure did. A phone number. He said he tried to call and that they weren't there. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. This is good news.
Really? Will you tell Cruz to keep looking, that I may have stumbled across something. I'm not sure what. Well, that's wonderful. What is it? I'm not sure. It's just a feeling. I can't quite put my finger on it, though. Will you run it by me? Sit down for a minute?
Okay. I went to Keith's office, okay, and Gina prances in with a Madonna wig, wearing a mink coat and clutching this sports bag.
Yeah, well, Gina has a strange idea of what fashion is.
No, it was something more than that. It was really strange. They're up to something. I'm just not sure what it is.
Well, what are you going to do?
I don't know. I do know that before I left for Vegas, the two of them were running around like chickens with their heads cut off, and tonight Keith was acting smug, and so was Gina.
Well, a mink coat will do that to Gina.
A mink coat on a warm spring day, and she was clutching onto that sports bag like she had the crown jewels in it. Now, where do you think she is going in that getup?
The bag. Julia, the bag. Thank you very much.
For what?
Bag. I gotta go. Thanks a lot. You let yourself out.
I'm glad you could see me.
Have a seat.
Thank you. Look, son-in-law, I don't really know what you want me to say to you.
Well, I don't want to tell you what to say, Mr. C.
All right, already put our cards on the table. All of them.
Sounds good to me. If you want to tell me what this is about, I am more than ready to listen.
All right, always, you know, always thought he was a fair man. Well, I have not been the same with you. I lied. I know that you found Hal's remains when you dove down beneath the boathouse. I know that you have them now.
Well, I had them. They've been stolen.
Stolen? Stolen? By who? Oh, come on, Cruz. You don't really think that I stole them, do you?
And how do you know that they were down there in the first place, Mr. C? And why did you go to so much trouble to cover them up? Damn it, how do you expect me to help you if you're not going to tell me what the hell's going on here?
If you really wanted to help me, you would have left those remains down below where they should have stayed. Now, Timmons has got them. He's out to destroy me with them, and you know that.
Mr. C, this is more than you can handle. Believe me, you should let me help.
If you have an allergy and take Sudafed, there's something you should know.
Contact 12-hour caplets stop the sneezing and itchy eyes that Sudafed can't.
Gesundheit.
Until there's a cure, there's Contact.
What are you doing? Edie.
Come on, guys.
Let's all do something together, huh? Oh. You guys into finger painting?
Finger painting. Let's watch cartoons. Let's go bowling. Let's go to the movies.
Oh, Katie's got an even better idea.
Oh, Dad.
Hershey's Miniatures, anyone?
Yeah.
Meeting of the minds. Call your shot.
Mr. Goodbar.
Take your pick.
Yeah.
Thank heavens there are 4 different tastes in every bag of Hershey's Miniatures, so there's a little something for everyone.
Did you hear the news?
At last, April Freshness is in a dryer sheet, introducing new Downy sheets, and their biggest fan is Bernard.
Whoa, Katie, your blanket needs April Freshness. Downy sheets make everything April Fresh. Katie, see how April Fresh my stuff is? You said it. Your blanket's history.
They're here, new Downy dryer sheets for April Freshness from your dryer.
Zestfully clean. Zestfully clean. You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean.
Do I look clean to you? Surprise. I'm not fully clean unless I'm zestfully clean. Soap leaves a sticky film on you that won't rinse away, but Zest rinses you fully clean.
Zestfully, zestfully, zestfully clean. You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean.
Guess what's big? Plump. Juicy. And gives Post-Raisin Bran its big taste. Stay tuned.
My father thinks I'm out to destroy him. He has banished me from the kingdom once again.
I'm sorry.
What kind of son am I? There's still so much anger.
Don't do this to yourself.
I have never known how to please that man. How to keep from feeling like an outsider in my own home.
You've been hurting for a long time. This situation with your father is just bringing it all back.
I know they're in trouble. I just wanted to help. I sincerely wanted to make things better. Only to be told that I would simply make matters worse.
Your parents are under a tremendous amount of stress right now. They don't mean what they're saying. And you have tried. You have done everything that you could possibly do. I have a lead. You want to help me with it? I need you.
I need you too, but I still think you're grasping at straws.
Well, it's better than grasping at nothing. Now, Henry McElhaney. Remember him? He's the guy that was in the accident with Hal Clark.
Mm-hmm.
You with me here?
Right.
You want to do it? I'm not kidding. I have the address. I have the telephone number. Are you with me or not? That's my guy.
Do it.
I am not going to that house for dinner, and no one in his right mind would accept an invitation at this hour to have dinner with those vipers.
Well, what choice did I have?
How about no? Did that thought ever occur to you?
What his invitation, as you like to call it, is nothing but a thinly disguised threat.
Is that a fact? Well, what do you think they're going to do to us? Toss us out of the social register?
Oh, please don't be sarcastic. You know these people. They're vile. They'll do anything to get what they want.
And she going to run over there and hand it to him on a silver platter?
Well, it would have been far worse if we didn't go. We've got to find out what they're up to.
Well, since you pulled this brilliant thing of yours, I guess you might as well there and learn everything we can. Let's go.
Give me 1 minute. I have to change my shoes, and I'll be right with you.
Oh, what the hell does everybody want from me? What? Hello, son.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, Ted, good to see you. Come on in, come on.
Look, I just came over. I just feel like I need to get a few things off my chest. I just, want to clear the air between us. Now, I know I've been acting very childish lately, and I feel like I can't come back over here right now. But I feel like I need you, and I know you need me.
Gary, hurry up. We just cannot be late to this.
Look, Ted,
Oh, hello, Ted. I'm really sorry you came at a particularly bad moment. We have a pressing engagement.
Look, how about we talk tomorrow night? Maybe this evening. How about tonight, huh?
Fine, Dad. Right, it's not important.
Ted, look, Ted.
No, Cece, whatever it is, it can wait.
No, it can't wait.
Well, it will have to.
You don't know when to stop with me, do you?
See, whatever it is, once this is over, you'll have all the time in the world to straighten this out with Ted.
Once this is over, you and I have a few things to straighten out. Because all of this is because of you. Ever since you came back into the picture. The boathouse, the bones, everything would have been forgotten if it wasn't for you. You ruined everything. And I mean everything. My wife, my marriage, my family, everything. Everything you touch turns to...
What's wrong? Oh, baby, I'm sorry. I told you I'd come right back, and time just got away from me.
Oh, no, I'm the one who apologize. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I really shouldn't have taken that out on you. I really shouldn't. I'm sorry. Listen, that's not really the reason I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Julia came by the house, and she said that she saw Gina today. Gina had the bones.
What? Julia doesn't know about the bones.
No, I know she doesn't know about the bones, but she saw Gina in Keith's office. Gina was wearing a full-length mink coat on a spring day, holding a gym bag, clutching onto it for dear life.
A gym bag? Well, maybe she was going to work out. Gina's crazy.
No,
I
know that. That was the first. That's what I said. But she's not stupid. And Julia said that Keith and Gina, they were acting very smug, acting very strange. They could have stole them.
That's what your father thought, too.
Daddy came by here. That's wonderful. What did he say?
Yeah, well, he didn't say much. As soon as he heard that the bones had been stolen, he hit the door like a bat out of hell.
Do you think he went after Keith and Gina?
I hope not. But speaking of that dynamic duo, I think it's time I paid him a visit, don't you?
Not without me, you're not.
Are life's day-to-day problems sometimes more than you can handle? Find out how to cope on Stress to Kill, an NBC News special Monday.
Jimmy Carter, owner of Tupelo Marble Works, is a craftsman who creates a work of art in each monument, designed to preserve those precious memories through the ages. He learned his trade working with his father, also a professional memorialist. Visit Tupelo Marble Works during their spring monument sale. They guarantee the lowest prices plus the finest quality from the largest display in North Mississippi. All prices include lettering, footstones, and permanent installation on your cemetery lot. Call or come by Tupelo Marble Works, East Main, Tupelo.
Mercedes-Benz. No other car on the road today can match the tradition that is built in. The Mercedes attention to detail, not only underneath the hood, but the appointments inside, becomes a constant pleasant reminder that you've made it to the top. Frankie Blackman Chevrolet Mercedes-Benz knows that the S-Class Mercedes is not the car for everyone. But consider these 30 seconds as a reminder that your invitation to step up to Mercedes awaits you. At Frankie Blackman Chevrolet Mercedes-Benz in Tupelo and Gloucester, we've got the car you've always dreamed about.
Never before in the history of television have so few asked so much of so many.
Who is Winston Churchill?
Sorry, that's wrong.
What is Jeopardy?
You're right. That's when everybody speaks Jeopardese.
Jeopardese, the ability to communicate in the form of a question.
You can learn to speak Jeopardese at home. Let's start now.
It's the time and channel you can watch Jeopardy.
What is weekday afternoons at 5 on 9 Alive? Lane, Saturdays at midnight on 9 Alive.
WTVA, 9 Alive.
Hi.
Well, that was lightning fast work.
Yeah. In and out, nothing flat.
Well, what happened? He wasn't there?
Oh, no, he was there. He was there for me just as much as he always is for me.
Oh, Ted, you mean you didn't talk to him?
No, I talked to him. Just enough to know exactly where I stand. Last place. Only, of course, second to Mason, I think.
You know, maybe you should just not worry about it right now and maybe try again later.
I'm not going to worry about it.
Good.
And you know what? I said we go party with Jake. I mean, it's his last night, you know?
Good. Okay.
What are you guys laughing at?
You don't want to.
You know, thanks a lot. What?
Oh, you're laughing at my gift, huh?
No, really, thanks a lot for this. I don't know what it is. There's no label on it.
No.
Right?
It's not one of those. What is it? It's just a tape. I'm not kidding now. It's Sound of the Ocean, you know, so in case you have Bob Seeker in the big city.
What, then no porno golf or anything?
No porno golf. One or two, pointed sea lions.
Oh, boy. Well, that's what I need. Well, that's really nice of you. I really appreciate that. You know, I don't know what you guys are trying to do to me here. Here I'm trying to get away, and I'm taking half of Santa Barbara with me.
No big deal. We don't want you to forget about it, after all.
All right, well, let's get the show on the road. Take you to the airport, okay?
Yeah, you're on. Listen, Margot, you take care of my buddy here, all right?
Yeah.
He's kind of a moody one. And you little mother, you take care of that little girl, all right? I'm gonna hear from Uncle Jake. I'll be back. Pearl?
Yeah, I know, Pearl. Enough's been said. Here, take this.
You're kidding.
You might be able to use it. Who knows?
All right. Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Stay in touch.
Well, I guess we better go, huh? Yep. Well, goodbye, everybody.
Have a good flight.
Thanks for everything.
Bye.
Okay.
Send a postcard.
Hey.
There's nothing in this world that touches you.
And now, or even more bouquet, we shall add a splash of white wine vinegar with tarragon, or perhaps even a hearty splash of vermouth. Or maybe a soupçon of vinegar for the salad, and a sip for the saucier.
It's sauce, not souse. Such a mess. You know, I feel like someone's schnauzer bearing bones in the backyard. Oh, those are our guests. Do get the door key. You look so fetching in a ruffle.
Good evening, I presume. This is not a social call, Timmons. I came to find out exactly what's going on with the boathouse investigation.
You know as much as I do.
Oh, now, I'm sure you could shed a little more light on the subject if you were so inclined.
These aren't our dinner guests.
I guess I'll cut to the chase. Despite your best efforts, I believe it is still customary for a district attorney to go through proper channels when investigating a crime.
Well, thank you for pointing that out. My goodness, you know, I could lose my job if they thought I was interfering with a criminal investigation. Now, if you will excuse us.
Yes, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but we are expecting dinner guests. They're going to be here any minute, and I hope you don't plan to stay long.
Well, as long as it takes to get to the bottom of this.
Oh, it might take forever.
Not if we level with each other.
I don't know. What do you think? Well, I think that, we could sit around riddling each other all night long. So, you first, Gaston.
Your idea of a meeting place is about equal to your concept of a lead.
This is the most convenient place I could think of.
Convenient?
He was having dinner somewhere in town, so, well, you want me to send him to the DA's office?
Did you ask him to wear a pink carnation so we'd be sure and recognize him?
I don't think we'll have any trouble missing him. I think he's older than the look. Hello?
Good evening. You must be Miss Wainwright, or is it Ms.?
Whatever. Henry McElhaney?
Call me Henry.
Henry, this is my colleague Mason Capwell.
How do you do? Forgive me for being late. I had a heck of a time with my studs, finding them.
Well, we really appreciate you coming to see us here.
Well, to tell you the truth, why should I refuse to talk to a pretty lady from the DA's office? Besides, it sounded like mighty important business to me.
Can I get you a drink, Henry?
Oh, no, thank you. That's one vice I don't have.
Anyway, the report that we talked about on the phone is part of the investigation. The accident that you had with Hal Clark on Old Beach Road, I know this was 30 years ago, but do you remember any details about it at all?
Do I remember? My dear, you are looking at a man with a mind like a steel trap. Best car I ever had. They don't make them like that anymore. Did you ever drive a T-Bird, Mason?
No, I'm afraid not.
Oh, a really classic car. Purred like a kitty cat, drove like the wind. Don't get the wrong idea now. I mean, I wasn't speeding or anything like that. That was one narrow road then, and the road was just as curved then as it is now.
No. The report didn't indicate that speed was the cause of the accident.
See, it was just a case of the other fellow not driving careful enough. Now, he apologized about that. He said he was sorry. You know, it was strange. He's real jumpy about it. I mean, real uptight about something.
Do you know what it was?
No, he was probably just like the rest of us, trying to get nowhere fast. But, you know, he was real nice about it, though. He hopped out of his car, and he came over to mine before I even had the ignition turned off. He gave me his phone number, and he said, look, call me with the bill. And that was that.
But you said that he was upset about something.
Well, why shouldn't he be with a kid in the car? I mean, we were both mighty relieved that he wasn't hurt.
What kid?
You know, this charming little domestic act is not gonna cut it, Timmons.
You know, I wish you wouldn't call me by my last name. It's threatening somehow. So if you guys are fishing for something, this trout is not going to jump out of the sea. Okay?
You're out to get my father, aren't you? And let me tell you something. If you're going to pin anything on him, I'm going to cut you in little pieces and serve you at my dinner party.
Wait a second. Hold it. Just 1 second here. You know something? Anything that's between me and CC is between the two of us. If you... Oh, listen. Hey, you want to talk to him? He's going to be over tonight. He's going to have dinner.
You're lying.
You live with us? Listen. I know, you really want to cover up a crime, but not this one, okay? It's mine. So would you know?
We'll be back.
Excuse me. Oh. This is total.
What are you doing here, sweetheart?
More to the point, what are you doing here?
Baby, is that what it looks like?
Daddy, I think you should save it. Come on, Cruz.
Eden, please.
I hope you don't regret this, Mrs. C.
You're right on time. Come on in.
Big odors lurk in small places.
Stick it to us, the stick-ups.
Big odors linger in small places.
Stick it to us, the stick-ups.
Stick-Ups concentrated air fresheners solve big odor problems in small places.
Stick it to us.
Danska oster. Danska pølse. Danska flyskumskager.
In Denmark, where they have delicious food, they also have a delicious way to help them eat less when they diet. Fiber Trim Sparkling Fruit Tabs. A fruity drink with fiber that helps fill them up so they can eat less, even when faced with delicious new sparkling fruit tabs from Fiber Trim, the European way to slim.
A guest of mine found a roach in their iced tea, and it was horrible. Combat will not get rid of my roach problem. It won't.
That's how Eve Hansford felt before she tried Combat.
I was very surprised, but Combat took care of my roach problem. I put Combat where I knew roaches would be, and I don't have to worry anymore. Now when I have company over, I don't have to worry that I'll have roaches in my iced tea. Anybody who has a roach problem can use Combat. It really does work.
Combat, also available in ant and roach and flying insect sprays.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way.
No other glass cleaner works like Glass Plus. It sprays, and now, with a flick, it foams to stay where you want it and clean without streaking.
It's gonna be a bright, bright Glass Plus day.
Glass Plus cleans glass, plus a whole lot more.
At Play School, we know little kids love surprises.
Hi, Cookie Monster. Hi, Bert. Hi, Big Bird.
So we make Play School Sesame Street Poppin' Pals. Push a button and another friend pops up.
Bye, Oscar. Bye, Ernie. Bye, Big Bird.
Don't look so glum. We have information now that we didn't have before.
New information, yes. A clue, no. I don't see that it does us any good whatsoever.
There was a kid in the car.
A little boy named Boomer. What kind of person nicknames their child Boomer?
We could trace him.
Even if we found him, what good would it do us? We're talking about an automobile accident, not Hal Clark's actual disappearance.
Maybe there's a connection.
Julia, I don't want to discourage you, but look at it realistically. Where could a kid named Boomer possibly lead us?
I hope everyone likes ribs. They are a little messy, but I've got plenty of steaming washcloths and empty plates for the bones.
They look delicious.
Well, you know, actually, it's my own special marinade that sort of makes it, you know, succulent and tender. Sort of falls right off the bone, doesn't it? It's sort of, it's digestible, wouldn't you say, my little turtleduck?
Oh, yes. Completely. They're really quite wonderful. So, pick away to your heart's content.
Now, wouldn't you say that we have gone far enough? Why don't we just get down?
The bare bones! Sorry, I couldn't resist it. I'm sorry. Hey, look, would you like to wash some of this stuff down?